learning point check limits of accuracy. People did well with question 1 and 2 and 4, so I'm not going to go through those particularly, except for to say that you know that 9.58 can't be exact, as time is continuous data, okay, which means that you know that you could always be more accurate. So time is continuous data. So anything which you can measure, really, so things like weight, height, so distance, time, volume, anything like that, you can always have a little bit more or a little bit less, so it's continuous, and so you can never have it precise. Right, I'm going to go ahead and look at question 3. And just talk that through, because you just need to be a little bit careful with it. Ben is planning a car journey. He estimates the distance to be 90 miles to the nearest 5 miles. He hopes to travel at an average speed of 60 miles per hour to the nearest 10 miles per hour. Work out his minimum expected journey time. So we're trying to work out time, and time is distance divided by speed. And I want to work out the minimum time. So minimum time. So I need to figure out, how do I get the minimum time? Right, let's think about this. So the minimum time, you'd want to not go very far, and you'd want to do it very quickly. So do it at a very high speed. So it's going to be the minimum distance divided by my maximum speed. Don't try to just learn that, just try to think about it each time you've got a question like this. Okay, so my minimum time will be my minimum distance divided by my maximum speed. So let's consider the distance. 90 miles to the nearest 5 miles. So really the distance is going to be, well, my lower bound would be to the nearest 5 miles. It's a bit tricky, so it's not 85, it's 87.5, right? Because it's the nearest 5 miles, so it would go in like in 5, so it would either round to 85 or 90 or 95. So if it's rounding to 90, it must be between greater than or equal to 87.5 and less than 92.5. But I want the minimum distance, so for my minimum time, I want my minimum distance, so 87.5, divided by my maximum speed. Now the speed is, so maximum speed, well, my speed, the lowest amount to the nearest 10 miles per hour, so it's going to be between 55 and 65. But I want the maximum speed, so 65 miles an hour. And this will give me the time in hours. So 87.5 divided by 65 equals 35 over 26. That's how many hours I'm talking about. So I just need to convert this into minutes. So if I've got that many hours, if I just times that by 60, so that many hours, I times it by 60, so 35 over 26 times by 60, that will give me how many minutes? Which is 80.76923 0 and all that recurring. So that is the same as, to the nearest minute, 81 minutes. And it's asked me to give it in hours and minutes. So 1 hour, because there's 60 minutes in an hour, and 21 minutes. And there's my answer.